We're back!
Hello, people. Good to see everyone here.
Welcome back, everyone. Good to see some familiar faces from yesterday and the other lives. Glad to see you're tuning back in. Here in San Francisco, where is everyone from? Do we have anyone new today to watch Will Paterson? Let us know. And
that'd be cool to know.
Let's see. We'll continue what we were doing yesterday. So Will was sketching on his iPad.
Yep.
And can you let us know again for people joining today what the brief was and what we're working on?
Yeah, sure. So I'll just get the little presentation up really quick. So it takes
we'll go to the laptop. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. So we're working on a logotype design. So it's got logotype design is kind of like lettering in itself. There's lettering involved, but the difference between creating a logotype and hand lettering is that you spend a lot more time on each letter form, and the overall composition of it has to work when it's big, small, kind of like the Coca-Cola logo look. You need to be able to see it when it's big, small, like when it's black and white, when you cut it a little bit, so it has to be really versatile. So basically the project briefing yesterday was design a logotype for a fictional social media app called Smiley for smartphone users. Smiley is a free app for iPhones and Android devices. It currently only runs on smartphones, but they are looking to expand to a web-based browser version. The unique selling point is sharing data from workouts and fitness runs. So the logotype design process, or the logo design process, which some of you may not know, is basically briefing and research is the first thing that you do. So when a client asks you to commission you for, let's say, like a company rebrand, and you're working specifically on the logo type, then you need to read the brief, which I just condensed down for you like massively. You also need to do your research into the company and the industry to see what works and what doesn't work. You also need to mood board. So the second stage is mood boarding, which is I'll show you just before I get back into the sketching. But mood boarding is basically getting the general vibe of a company's visuals and getting the tonality of the company into a visual representation, and that will help you understand a bit more about how to make the logo type design and the style that you use. The next one is rough concept sketches. So once you've done your briefing, research, mood boarding, you go straight into rough concept sketches, and these are just really rough, and this is what we were working on yesterday. So we've done number 1, 2, and 3 yesterday, and I was working a bit last night on some of these as well, another idea. And then the next one that we're going to be working on today is semi-refine the best 3 sketches, but because it's a stream, I'm going to refine one just so I can like go thoroughly into the vectorizing process too. And then the initial ideas presentation is number 5. Normally you just show sketches. So again, we're doing this a bit differently because this is just fictional, it's not real. But at this point, when I've got a lot of ideas, I would say about 20 to 50 ideas, I would pick 3, I would refine them, and then I would send them to the client. And I wouldn't show any work that I wouldn't want them to have, that they may possibly want to have. We've all heard horror stories like that. And then the last one is written feedback from the client, and then you just repeat steps 3 to 6 again from the feedback. You may have to go back to the drawing board, but the more you do it and the more you get used to the experience of creating a logo design and branding a company, it becomes second nature. So, and then the last thing I said, which is a bit weird, is logo design is about failing
until you succeed.
Which is kind of cheesy, but it's something that it takes the pressure away from creating a masterpiece, you know. So this is the mood board that we were working on. So what we did yesterday was created a mood board, which is all the characteristics of these that I like. So for instance, I love the boldness of Boldy here, or Boldly. I like the roundness of Bizbook. I like the illustration and the flow of the pinstripes one because it just worked really well. It's pinstriped. Lemon was cool because it was monoline. Instagram was cool because it's sort of like a competitor to this company, even though this Smiley has like a more of a USP. Facebook, again, it's the biggest social media company, so getting something like that in your mood board will help you sort of funnel your ideas down and see what you could do better than the Facebook logo.
What is USP?
A unique selling point. So
okay.
It means that what's unique about your company. So for Instagram, it's images, you know.
Yeah.
Like Facebook, it was the first of its time, but then social media companies like Snapchat, the unique part about that was that it would disappear. Most social media has like a unique selling point. if not all. And then all these sort of ideas here, I went for another S, so I researched in typekit.com. I just typed in an S and I sort of filtered it down to the sort of S that I wanted. And from here we went and sketched a bunch of stuff, which I shall now show you.
While you're looking at your sketch on your iPad, I just wanted to tell everyone about the contest for today. We have a new contest, so you are called to create a 3+ letter word. So any word that's at least 3 letters long in Illustrator or Photoshop with a white background. That's really important. Make sure it's a white background and submit it to us. You can see all the details on the contest tab, like right above where you're chatting, so that you can submit it the right way. And we'll be reviewing these. So throughout this stream, we'll be reviewing all the submissions, and I can't wait to see what you make and what you send us. So let's look at your sketches.
Yeah, let's go for it. So
on your iPad that you started yesterday.
These were the sketches that we started yesterday. You can tell they're really rough. Now, the best way to create or get your ideas on paper is not worry about how well they work. You want to make sure that you're just getting the idea out there, and then once you've got the idea that you're thinking of out there, you can look more into it and get new ideas. So instead of tunnel visioning, you just sort of write your ideas out, get them out into the style that you want. And from here, I've got like 3, and I went last night and I created a new one, but I'm gonna like get rid of all these just here. Now this one is kind of strange in itself, but as you can tell, it's really rough. And I'm gonna annotate the ideas and the process behind my choice in this, as it will help other people understand why I chose this weird looking one. So over here, I started off with this one, and I like the S of this, so I'm just going to annotate this to make it a bit easier. The S was cool, simply just put cool. I like the monoline, so the monoline was cool, but I didn't like the thickness of it. So the thickness was like wasn't thick enough for my idea or for what I wanted. So the next one was Smiley, which was another one, and I tried to sort of create like it looks ridiculous there, but the concept's right there, and that's okay. But basically, I like the thickness of this one. I like the fact that it didn't connect. It works when it's really small as well. And there's sort of like an icon to play with in there somewhere. It's all about finding the gold in the sort of bin. I didn't like the S. Well, that's my job. My job's all about like creating bad ideas, and then when you create bad ideas, you find the bits that are good, and then you just push them all together, and it takes the pressure off you massively. The S was kind of like, it was too like this, too square, too sans serif-y, so we can like play around with that if we wanted to. This one, I like this idea more, but the problem was, again, the consistency of it didn't work correctly, so I sort of expanded on that idea, and to speed the process up, I just created this one here for you guys. Now this one, the reason why I like this is everything is like working when it's very small. Obviously, when you're working on a smartphone, it's important that you can see it, but that also it's got to look right for the age range that you're marketing it to. So 18 to 30 is for this one. So what we're going to do is to save on time, but also just so I can show you everything about it, is I'm going to refine this one. I'm going to show you how I refine it in Adobe Sketch, and then I'm going to shove it into Illustrator. We're going to vectorize it badly first, and then we're going to refine it even more there to make it look really cool. And the process should hopefully inspire you guys who get intimidated by anchor points and stuff like that, and hopefully it'll help you. So did everyone get that? I was really quick.
I think it was a good recap. And there were a lot of people on the chat telling us where they were from earlier. Yeah. But they're not visible right now, but I wrote them down so I can say hi to everybody. Cool. We had 2 people from South Africa.
South Africa?
Yeah. We had Ohio, San Antonio, and Dallas. But listen, the girl from Dallas is from Knaresborough. Is that how you pronounce it? Starts with a K. Knaresborough in Yorkshire.
Oh, yeah, Knaresborough.
Yeah,
I think so,
she was from there, and then she moved to Dallas.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. How long have you lived in Dallas for?
Yeah, let us know. And then we have Shanghai And 2 people from Germany, Janine and Stephanie. Ooh, Bristol, UK, Kevin. I used to live there.
Bristol, UK, no way.
That's a great city.
You are.
Dublin, Orlando, Iran, Kuwait. We have the Middle East.
Iran, no way.
Arkansas, Colombia, New Jersey, Poland, France, Slovenia, Portugal, Utah, Germany again, Fort Lauderdale, India, Tampa, Montana. I'm just gonna keep saying countries. Italy, India.
Spam the chat.
Croatia. Is this real, or are you just telling me countries around the world so I can just recite every country?
Great for my geography.
Yeah.
Which, as a lot of people may know, is not very good.
Kevin says it's pronounced Knaresborough.
Nesborough. Nesborough? Yeah, that's
But
the
you
one.
say Knaresborough.
I say Nesborough, but that's probably because I'm dyslexic.
No, I think there might be 2 ways to pronounce it.
Could be.
You're from the area, you should know.
Yeah, but my town is like really strange. Richmond, North Yorkshire. I don't know if I should say that.
Your town is strange.
It's a nice town though. It's like 10,000 people. So all I'm doing here is I've got a new sketch layer on Adobe Sketch. And if you don't have an iPad Pro, you can just easily do this with like tracing paper. Just make sure your pencil's sharp. And what we're going to do is just refine this and refine this and refine this.
Did you sharpen your pencil?
Yeah, it
Okay, good.
broke, so I had to get a new one. Imagine that. I think there's a video of some guy online sharpening the Apple Pencil.
Oh, God. Like those videos of when they destroy iPhones.
Yes, that guy. You know, Tex Rax. That guy.
Oh, you know him.
I just remembered his name. Everyone gets so mad with him.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
So, the corners of these may change, but I'm not too fussed about the consistency just yet because it's so much easier to play around with it in Illustrator once you have the anchor points placed. But what I am is I'm just trying to copy some of the characteristics that I like over. And as you can see, it's more like a monoline looking design, but it's important with a logo like this that you still have miniature contrast to it. Otherwise it looks kind of weird and it doesn't look monoline.
So can you point out the areas where the line is actually thinner?
Yeah, sure. So the connections. So something that people do when it comes to monoline is say it's a consistent, and it's consistent all the way around. But it's not. It's meant to look consistent all the way around. But if, like, every logo is different, but if you're working on something like this, I think it would look kind of strange. I mean, down here, this looks way too thick, but it should be the same size as this. You see what I'm saying? So you've got to, like, compensate it, and that's, like, probably the hardest thing to learn, and that's why, logo design can take a long time.
Yeah, especially when it's in small sizes. Even though it's not printed, like when we have printed letters, we make sure to allow for the ink to spread. But on a screen, you have the light spreading. So in a small area, when you have this word showing on your screen, you will still see that there are small areas that kind of run into each other, and you still have to allow for that spread and use the optical illusion in your favor. So even if you make something look thinner, the optical illusion will make it look the same size as everything else.
Yeah, that's why it's important. That's why there's a book called Designing Type that will help with all that, because it shows every letter and character in sans serif and serif and the optical illusions that you use to create that. I'm not too sure if they sell it anymore. I got it secondhand off Amazon, but I was like super stoked when I got it because it's helped me so much understand more about letter forms.
By Karen Chang.
Let's have a look. Yeah, that's the one. Also, there's I can't remember what it's called. It's like a really old book. So there was a sign painter back in the day, I know the book cover's got GW on it, but I bought this book and it was something like Mastering Type, and it's all about layout and how to basically sign paint. And I got it by asking this company that was selling it for like £50, which is about $80. And like when I got it, the price went up so massively because they didn't have any more to sell.
Wow.
Obviously they stopped printing them, but it's been the most invaluable book I've ever had for lettering and design, because it shows how sign painters did it back in the day. So just here I've noticed that I'm going to the consistency part of this. I've got the grid, so I'm making sure that this line here is vertical on the way down.
Anna, do you know what book he's talking about? You said it's your former professor.
Your former professor? Yeah, from
University
Germany.
of Washington.
Hang on. It might be a different.
Because you said UW. Maybe that was just like the cover.
I'll find it.
He's finding it because now we're curious what book he's talking about.
Books on hand lettering. I'll see.
There's too many books on hand lettering
There we
these
go.
days.
The Art of Hand Lettering.
Oh, The Art of Hand Lettering.
That's it.
By Helm Watzkau. Wow, that is an old book.
Yeah, it's much cheaper now. It must have started doing
that looks
reruns.
like a good one.
Yeah, it's really cool. It helped me so much. It's like the Bible of lettering for me.
Wow. So I'm so happy to see all of you here, but make sure you tune into the other streams too. We're going on all day. So we're here with Will now at 11. We have Jill Dehan. 1 p.m. I'll be back with Stefan Kunz, and then Becca, who's doing her amazing candy lettering. Don't miss that at the end of the day.
It's so cool. Food lettering is the best.
Yeah, I was inspired to try to do something like that. I found a ton of Bon Appetit magazines, and I've been doing collages with them, just like cutting out food.
Yeah?
And now I'm like, oh, I should graduate to real food.
Yeah.
Instead of just magazine food.
I tried it with pepper on my Instagram. And it
Like
was fun.
black pepper?
Yeah, so I just me and Stefan were doing this thing called Create Today,
Yeah.
and I was just like,
Grinding?
yeah, grinding it and stuff like that. Will, you should do your own book. I've got a book.
Will, what's your book?
It's called Calligraphy in 15. I did not design the cover of it. I always say that.
Are you saying that it's not a good cover?
I don't like it. I don't like the cover of it. But go and get it.
Learn in 15 minutes.
The content in it, it's so cheap, the book, right? And it's taken me years to learn everything that's in there. I literally just didn't hold back. I just put it all in.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's sort of like what I'm doing
You can
with
see
you
a
now.
preview of it online.
There's a lot of previews.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Will.
There's my face. I was trying
His
to find
face is
it.
in the book, so that makes it more valuable. And then you can see he's got a lot of invaluable information about how to start practicing. So, ooh, and he has the lined pages, so you can practice right in the book.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which face did he use? You what?
I
He's
think
my
he's
happy
making
face.
a joke about your face and a typeface. That would be my
Smiley.
interpretation. A smiley typeface.
Smiley typeface. That's another thing. Like when you think of smiley, it's all curvy at the
Yeah.
bottom. So that's down here, all the connections, curvy. at the
That's
bottom.
true. There's so many smiles.
So many, so happy. So another thing is
Daniel
overshooting.
says not to judge your own book by its cover.
No, please do. I mean, the information inside it is ridiculously good. I will say that.
Yeah.
And
What programs do you use in your work? Artem is asking.
So, pencil and paper, Adobe Sketch. So I normally use Adobe Sketch for refining. So, because I'm really bad with rulers. I don't know, there's something about rulers that I can't tell if it's straight. Like, I can't tell if things are straight when I'm drawing it. So I can't put up pictures in the house. Naomi has to do it. Because it's like, I'm like, that's perfectly straight, that. And then it's not. It's like on an angle.
What if you use a level?
That's true. I could use that.
But you don't trust it.
No, I do trust it. I just never do use a level. Like, I'm like, I should be able to do this. And then I never do it. So never do it. But Adobe Sketch, this is a great thing about it. When you want a straight line, it snaps into place with the ruler. So
yeah, that's great.
Everything is super consistent. So over here, I'm just keeping in mind of the overshooting. Now, overshooting is a term used in type where it compensates space. I'll just...
Round objects overshoot. So you have your baseline, which is at the bottom.
Yeah.
And let's say you have an N. The N, which has a straight bottom edge, will just hit the baseline right there. But then if you have an O next to it, you're going to have the curve of the O overshoot the baseline just a little bit to optically make the O look as big as the N. So here, Will, if you could zoom in on your curves, you can see that they're just below the grid line. The curve goes just under, so it can optically look.
Yeah, and it'll be more accentuated and like properly done in Illustrator where it makes it easier. It's important, like, I'm really focusing on the bottom parts here just because there's more curved lines. The connections are all curved, so I'm trying to make it so it looks straight. But again, the overshoot might have to be a bit less or a bit more depending on the character. For example, the L might have to be a bit more because it's a bigger shape, so it'll look thinner. So
yeah,
it's all about trial and error.
Act.
That's right. So I'm not too sure what to do at the top of these yet, but something that we're going to do is just play around with it in Illustrator once you've got all the vector points down, and then from there you can make more adjustments. As long as you've got the general concept that you like. For example, I don't like this Y, but
why not?
Why not? It too far down. There's the balance isn't there. So if you were to draw a square around it, like, that's a really bad square.
You can use the shape.
That's right. Let's go for it. So if I was to draw like a rectangle around it, you want the logo to fit.
You want the whole thing to fit in that?
Well, it's like the way that balance works in design is that it's like symmetry, fake symmetry kind of. So I'm gonna play with the S a little bit. Maybe we'll have that coming to the descender, so it balances it out with the Y.
What if the top of the S was higher? Would it balance more with the Y on the other side?
It could do. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, that's a good idea actually. It's a good point. It could do, but what I wanted to do is create the descender and the Y. I think that's the main aspect of this. And once I've got the SMILE done, we can work on the Y, because I think that's where the smiley face. I'm really adamant on having a smiley face or something in there.
Yeah.
Or like having like a weird icon.
If there's no smiley face, I'll be a little bit disappointed.
Oh yeah, I'll just it could be just an icon in the end. But there you go. So.
If the Y descender was more like swooping rather than a small curve, maybe it would take up less space on the bottom if it went that way.
Well, there's options that we can like go into. So like an option could just be like having a line, like that curves down, but obviously that goes against the smiley thing. So the way that I'm working on it is kind of like I'll get it into Illustrator, and then because I'm happy with the other letter forms. If this is a real project, I'll probably like sketch it again and again and again until I get the sort of idea. We could maybe mood board again or look at some of the wires on Typekit just to see if it works better. But yeah, so
once you get it in Illustrator, you can keep experimenting and It's not like you have to keep drawing it with the pencil.
That's right. It becomes a lot easier.
Mitch asked if you remembered to turn it upside down to see if it works.
We'll do that in Illustrator because I have cheated a little bit. I mean, I know this is going to work. It just takes time for it to work. It's just all about testing. So like making sure the tracking's correct. Then it can be read when it's small, big. Can you cut it in half and it still reads? Or can you still tell it's the company? We're going to be working on it in black and white. We can add color maybe at the end, but we can flip it around. Let's have a go. And you can see there's a few problems, such as obviously we've got good balance on the S and the L, and what would be cool is if we had like something else coming up here, but obviously it's not going to work. But when we flip it horizontally, it stops your mind looking at it as letters and more as a shape. And the way that helps is that it keeps the design more simple. I'll have to show you when it's vectorized. I'll show you when it's vectorized because it's a lot easier done once it's vectorized. Obviously, I'm not going to go ahead and fill this in just because we've already got the lines here. I don't like to fill it in when I'm about to vectorize it. And something that you could do on here now is, go through the baseline and the ascender heights and make sure they're all the same. We'll just do that in Illustrator. And if you're someone who's like really anxious about doing it or a bit nervous that you're going to fail about it, just get it into Illustrator and put the points down. And once you've done that and learned how to do that, it makes life a lot easier. So Illustrator CC. This is a cool part about it. It should just pop into my Illustrator now.
That's great. There's some criticisms happening in the chat.
Keep it simple. Technically, it's not correct, but I can't figure out another way to do it.
I don't know if this was about your drawing. She was talking about...
Ah, right. Does it bug anyone else that the L is straighter on the leading curve? On the leading curve. Thanks, Adobe Live team. Hanging around till 3. It's going to come up. Sweet. Well, you guys will see it in the end. It might work. Might not. It'll be good fun to see. But I'm pretty sure it will. It should be all right.
It's going to be great. And we're all going to be smiling.
That's right. I want everyone to be happy. I've got my mouse today. That's my hands and my head. Okay, so here is the drawing. Let's go and create a new document in Illustrator. I just like to create like a 1920 by 1081 in landscape. And we shall just nick that one into here. And the coolest thing about one of the updates is that we can crop the image now.
A couple people are asking why you did it in red.
Oh, so the reason why I draw in red is because if I draw in black, I have like a routine. So if I'm drawing in red, it makes my brain know that this is just rough. So I don't spend forever and ever on it. So I draw in red and blue, just so I know it's rough. And then if it works, like if it's on paper, like real paper, I just draw it in normal pencil. But when it's on the iPad, it helps me because I don't have a separate pencil. I just use like a thicker brush in Adobe Sketch to do it. And it just helps me not worry about the small details straight away. Just crop this to the side a little bit. And then apply, makes it a bunch easier. So I'm going to scale this up a little bit and we're going to call this layer template. And I'm going to move my laptop. I'm going to sort my wire because it's annoying me. There we go. And I'm going to create some guides. So I'm going to press Command R. And these guides are just going to go like kind of roughly on here because it's all a bit different right now. So this is going to help me keep consistency all the way through. And a little trick, I'm going to, I might have to use my trackpad. We're going to use this down here to create another line. I want smart guides. Get rid of that. So I'm just setting up the document, and the way that you grid it out is just all the different lines. But something that a lot of people don't do, especially when it comes to cursive or script, is get the bowls here. Are they called bowls? Something like that. And keep them the same like consistency in thickness. And you can see I've done that in a couple of them. The M's okay, the S is not okay, the L is fine, the Y definitely isn't fine. But we can fix that up later. And I'm putting this on the same layer as my template, just because then when I lock it, or when I've like, changed the opacity of this actually, let's change this to like 30. When I lock it and I clear guides, it doesn't go away, because we're going to put loads more guides on. Oh, Vecto. So, actually I'm going to put another guide there. And we're going to add more guides as we go. But I'm not too bothered about, I'm just trying to get the placements there. We can play around with the thickness of the letter forms, and as long as we treat every letter form as one of its own letter forms, it's fine. We don't keep it all together or unite it. So what I'm going to do is, on this layer, what I do personally when it comes to vectorizing type is, if you look at Illustrator and the way that it uses paths and handles, it always goes from like the top, the right, the bottom, and the left. So at the outermost peaks of the shape, it will have an anchor point, and we're going to replicate that on the actual smiley logo type, and that's going to give us less anchor points, so it's going to make it a lot smoother, easier to edit, and also it'll just be a nicer logo, and it looks cool when you do it. But there's a few more reasons as to why. So what I'm going to do is find the topmost point here, so it'll be around about there, even though the S goes slightly further up. Can those guys see my guides? Yeah, you can see my guides. Let's just check in. So I'm just creating a guide there. And to work out where the next guide goes, because I've just been on a horizontal line here, I'm going to go and pick out another guide. And as soon as it touches the S, so as soon as it hits the S, that's where the anchor point's going to go. And it's going to go vertical, like so. Now the key thing to remember when it comes to vectorizing type is that both these handles here have to be similar. If it's one curve, you don't want this handle to be going all the way up here like that, because it looks kind of funky. You want them to be similar, so we're going to bring this up a tiny bit, holding shift. We're going to move this to the right, left even, holding shift, and it looks kind of weird at the minute, so we're just going to keep moving it, but you can change the curves however you need to. And then we're going to use this one again. We're going to find this one over here, so when it touches the S, that's where we want the guide to be. And we can move that a bit. Another thing is, you don't want the anchor points or the handles to cross over each other. And you can go into Command Y, you can see in outline mode. So we're trying to go for more of a horizontal and like vertical type area. So
a lot of people have been commenting on the shapes, but a lot other people have been saying, let him do his thing, let him do it in Illustrator and see how he refines it. And I agree. He's already shown that he's going to refine a lot of stuff. So let's watch the process. And I haven't seen any submissions for the contest for today. So the contest today is to create a word that's at least 3 letters and put it on a white background and submit it to us. We'll be looking at them at the end of this session. So please give us something to look at, and go on your contest tab right at the top of your chat dialog to see the details. We had a lot of submissions yesterday, so
I'm just doing this.
Oh, we have submissions. Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing. Thanks. We have 3, so keep them coming.
This is the most therapeutic part of my job.
Yeah.
I love it. So here's a weird time when we have to have like an anchor point here. We can fix that later. So we have like a intersecting one.
Sorry, Alejandro. I see it now. I have your submission.
And the lines don't have to be perfect as of yet. There's a lot of people that just go ahead and like you know, just dot it around.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing the shortcuts makes it a bit easier as well. I'm just pressing Alt to change the not gonna work that. So again, we want it to be about here. So this line here, you can't have it vertical, so we're having it horizontal, which is also fine. It gives us more control. Loud noises. And then
Mercedes says tracing is so satisfying. It's true.
it is true. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to scale this up. We can worry about the letters later, but because I want the baseline to be correct, so we're going to edit this a lot. And this is why I do it like this for today anyway, because we can edit the baseline. Actually create it like this, and then we can worry about it later.
So, Michelle, Will is bringing in a guide when he goes out to the left. She asks, why are you clicking on a point way out to the left?
Oh, so these guides, as you can see here, are when they touch the letter forms in the horizontal and vertical guides, that's where I put an anchor point. So you can see here that if, I don't know why I can't see my anchor points for some reason, but I can normally see my handles.
They're very tiny.
Yeah, they shouldn't be, but yeah, normally you can see my handles and stuff like that, but they're all vertical and horizontal. But it's not wanting to show you today, which is fine. So that's one of them. We can fill it in, see what it looks like. We can change it later. We move on to the next one, but I'm going to clear those guides that I've just created for the next letter, but it'll keep the other guides there as well. I'm just going to move my iPad actually over there and use my mouse because my hand's starting to hurt.
Oh no.
I used to use a graphics tablet for all this, but
do you use this mouse at home?
yeah, well, I use mouse sometimes. I mean, you don't need a graphics tablet, but it just helps when it comes to you're doing points all the time.
Yeah, it can be painful.
Yeah, so I'm just holding shift to keep the lines straight, and it's gonna look really strange at first. And we can mess around with this later. And also there's certain attributes of each letters that are similar to the other letters. So,
have you used a Wacom tablet? Do you prefer it over the iPad?
I don't prefer a Wacom tablet over the iPad for my job because I don't do I use AstroPad on my iPad to get into Photoshop if I wanted to create a cool brush or a texture or something. I don't really use Wacom Cintiqs. I use Wacom graphics tablets to ease the hand pain because sometimes if I'm clicking all the time it can make me a bit sore. So
do you ever use the scale width tool rather than illustrating the outlines?
No, there's not enough control. Not enough control.
So I think someone asked about the contest. We will be continuing that throughout the day. So if there's any submissions that I don't get a chance to look at, we'll be able to go through them in the next session with Kathleen and Jill.
I'm going to restart this one. Even though it's not straight, I'll make it straight later.
Mercedes says, I've heard that the less anchor points, the better. You get smoother curves.
That's true. Like, that's why I use the up, down, left and right rule, north, east, south, west. When you do that, you've got a lot more time to edit it. So right now, I'm not too fussed about the consistency because we can just quickly edit it.
Mm-hmm.
My voice is going.
Oh no.
Sounds so strange.
There's a lot of illness going around
Yeah.
this time of year, especially here in San Francisco. I feel like everyone's getting sick.
Yeah.
That's why I have my vitamin C.
Vitamin C.
My vitamins.
So, worry about that one later. And then we create a new one. So I'm going to start at the top. I always start at the top. Move my guide here. So around about here. Bring that down. And this sort of moves in. It touches here. And we can like round that out. So if I ever needed to change an angle or something, you just like select the point and you move it. And it looks kind of strange right now, so like I can just move, for instance, if I wanted to, I could just move this like back to there. And then once you've got all these points done, life gets a lot easier.
Chelsea asks why you're choosing to do the M in separate shapes.
So you can move it, makes it easier. Like if you like bring it all together like this, which I can't do just yet for some reason. But if you brought it all together and united it, it just wouldn't like, you wouldn't have the editability in it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just like creating at the key parts of it, and we can move it and do stuff with it. That's why it looks a bit funky at the minute, because like I'm not too fussed. As long as I've got points down in the right area, we can like always spend time manipulating it. Like this looks really strange.
Maybe it wouldn't join because the shape was still open.
Yeah, probably. Just move that over here.
Anne says, oh, she told you to come to Brazil yesterday too. You're my main inspiration in logo design nowadays. I hope you come to Brazil someday.
I'd love to come to Brazil. But after America, I'm going to chill out for a little bit. My plan is to travel more this year, hence why I'm here.
Yeah, that's great.
Now for this next one, we're just going to copy this. And the cool thing about having the anchor points in place is that we can just nick certain aspects of it.
Ah.
So, for instance, there's a couple ways we can do this actually. We can do that, make a copy of it. You can get rid of these.
Mitch says, America's overwhelming. We get it.
Yeah. I mean, I went to New York and it was like, it's like a dream coming true to come to America. I don't know why. I could have always gone, but like I just never did.
Yeah.
And then I was like, sack it, I'm going to go.
Timo wants you to go to Germany.
Germany, flipping heck.
Have you been to the Netherlands?
The Netherlands, no. I've been to Germany before. That was a while ago.
And we have, I think, people who weren't part of the conversation a bit ago when you talked about using a mouse. I asked if you prefer to use a mouse.
I use a mouse most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, if my hands are hurting, I'll use a Wacom tablet. It's just as easy.
Okay, you're also invited to Dubai, Bulgaria.
I have been invited to Dubai, but
You're invited again.
by who?
Wayne.
Who's Wayne?
He's our friend.
Oh, Wayne.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Wayne. Hit me up.
Yeah, how will you entice him to come to Dubai?
Yeah.
What are the incentives?
I need a good incentive. You can see here I'm hardly doing anything, I'm just copying and pasting it. Kind of feels like cheating, but it's not.
You're stealing like an artist.
Stealing my own work. Like an artist. It's a cool
Of course we noticed you, Wayne. Okay, you also got invited to Texas, Ecuador. Where else? I think I missed another one. Maryland.
To Wee England as well.
I don't really get that.
I don't get
watch
that
Arrested
either.
Development.
David Pruitt wants me to come to Texas. David Pruitt's a legend. He's coming to my workshop. I think he's traveling from Texas to come to a workshop in Denver.
Wow.
So,
Sweden, Chicago. Arturo asked how you closed that shape so quickly. Do you have a shortcut?
which one? This one up here?
Yeah.
You just press Command J, so you highlight. So you highlight the anchor points, Command J, press A, use these little things. Bring it,
Wow.
curve it like that.
I'm writing that down.
Makes it a bunch quicker. You see, it's just like, you got to be really easy and relaxed with it. Otherwise, it's kind of like, if you're not easy and relaxed with it, you're not having fun with it. Just be
It's true.
willing to create bad work and you'll be fine. Because you can always make it better when it's in Illustrator. You don't have to scrap the idea. So actually this L might change a bit, so we'll just do an L by itself. And we'll do that by, get rid of these anchor points here.
Is your process different when you're not doing cursive letter forms?
Yeah,
Brian asks.
I mean, I love cursive, that's why I'm showing you. And cursive's normally the hardest, because like, if you want a sans serif thing, you just do this. Like, it's like, I know it's probably a bit, but it's generally pretty easy just to,
Yeah, it's just rectangles pretty much.
like, that's very simple, but like, if you go into the designing type book, you'll realize that the font designers don't do that. So, but like, I've tried to learn like the little things, like with serif typefaces, you know how it's it looks straight, they always curve inwards in the middle ever so slightly. That's like helped me massively, because a lot of people ask, how do you get the serif typeface to look decent? I'm like, you just got to have a little thinness in the middle to balance with the serifs. So like, does that make sense? Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense to someone out there. So I'm going to make this a bit wider.
Do you also do calligraphy, or are you mainly working on the computer?
I do calligraphy as well, but like brush calligraphy, dip pen. I started with calligraphy really. It's always been like something that I like.
Who are your idols or main inspiration in logo design?
I don't have one. It's really strange. They're, because it's not like I refuse to have one. It's just that I don't have one. Like I know people's work is amazing. I know, like, I just don't see them as an idol. I just see them as like, you've done some really cool work. And that's like, there's a guy who's on my YouTube channel, like in one of my super chats ones, and his work is just amazing. I gave him a dribble invite and he was just like, he's putting up such amazing work. It's incredible. That's sort of my inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was going to say someone, it's probably Mackie Saturday. Just because he's like,
The designer of the Instagram logotype.
yeah, and I think Oculus Rift as well. He does so well with it. He's just got like such a down to earth way of, looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's no pressure, because like if you got loads of client work and you know you've got to come up with some ideas, you always want to be like, I'm going to come up with the best logo ever. You're never going to get it. You just gotta have to be patient, be willing to fail, and carry on. So once we've got all these points on, it'll be a bit less boring. I hope this is helping people, because like this part is where people normally struggle.
Yeah.
Because it's going to look a bit bad when we outline it. So we just do this. We'll get the E there.
Alphonsus, after he finishes this process, since all the letters are separate, he's gonna adjust the spacing later.
Yeah, apart from the L, I've connected that to the I by accident. It's all good. It's the Illustrator.
I'm looking at some new submissions, and we're gonna show them in, I guess, at the end, because we'll have enough time at the end to look through them and see who wins the contest. So keep sending them in. A word that's at least 3 letters on a white background.
Taking my eyes off it for a minute. Look at the chat.
What contest? Do you want to look at some submissions to take your eyes off?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Let's look at my laptop and see some
Oh, that's
submissions. Cool. Noir.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Was that the N that was shown yesterday?
It looks like it, but I don't think it's the same.
It looks so nice.
Unless it was fixed, because remember we said the serifs were like very pointy.
Something that you got to watch out for though is that the kerning between the O and the N, because it's like less space on you know, the missing parts of the N. You need to push the N ever so slightly towards the O.
Yeah.
And it will look better.
As soon as you say that, you see it.
Yeah. It's like, if you look at stuff long enough, and you play around with it long enough, you start to see things like that.
Yeah.
I guess with logo design.
Ryan says that N was his, so it's not the same, but it's very similar.
That's cool though.
Here's Alejandro's submission.
That's cool. Very playful, very like graffiti-like.
Yeah, I really like it. Cat.
That's my wife would love that. She loves cats. She takes my iPad off me and Illustrator and just draws cats. And then I go to work and I've just got a bunch of cats on my iPad.
That's funny.
Yep.
Well,
very
maybe
nice.
this was her, like in disguise.
Yeah.
You are best.
Nice.
That's cool.
That is cool. Nice, playful, modern calligraphy down at the bottom as well. That's different.
Oh, so originally it was in chalk, and then
He's brought it. Oh, wow. Negative spin. Well, what was it?
it's been reversed.
Yeah, it's in the negative, so that's cool.
Maybe like using capture or something. It's at least 3 letters, Eduardo, so it can be more than 3. Oh, look at this. Box, and then it becomes a box.
No way.
Yeah. How interesting.
That is very creative.
Hey!
Cool flourish on the Y there, by the way.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Mini.
You need to, something on there as well is make sure the overshooting on the M and the
Yeah,
N.
this is an example where you can see maybe the M, N, and I were on the same top line, but the I looks so much taller than the other letters.
Yeah, it's weird. Just gotta watch out for stuff like that.
Mike.
That's cool. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's very subtle, but
I like how you've got the backwards M as well. That actually works.
because it brings everything to the center.
Yeah. That's really cool. I love vintage work.
Yeah, who did the box? We want to know too.
Fresh.
Fresh.
Looking fresh.
I like this, but between the F and R, it's created this weird shape.
Yeah, what I do is, you know that little connector that you've got on the, is it the handle of the F? Something like that.
The crossbar.
The crossbar, yeah. I struggle with typography terms.
It's okay. I'm here.
That's it, I've got my help. But like what I would do is get rid of that connection and just, you know where it starts at the very bottom, the R? Just start it there, move the F closer to the R. Maybe the crossbar needs to go a bit higher.
Yeah, either make them totally separate or try to bring the crossbar into the R somehow.
Yeah.
But Kendra, that looks really good. I think if you work on the FR connection, it could be amazing. All right, that's all we have so far. So let's
I
go
want to
back.
see more.
Yeah, there will be more. At the end, I hope we have a lot more. So keep submitting because Will loves to see your work.
It inspires me.
Yeah.
Something that I found, I just got a new MacBook with the touch bar. And you've got like,
Oh, yeah.
in Illustrator, you've got like artboard tools and rulers. They're on the touch bar. It's so unreal.
I'm getting one. It's being shipped to me right now, and I'm a bit intimidated by that touch bar. But now that you said that, I'm more excited.
It's so cool. Like,
Cool.
what does that do? It does something, but... Right, so I'm going to start that here. And as you can see, I'm working on bits I want to work on first. Makes life a bit easier for me. Working on like one curve at a time, 2 anchor points at a time. Just hit my leg. Smooth. And then let's try and steal this. Now obviously we'll have to like change it all up again.
Someone actually said in the chat that the Y curve should be the same as a previous curve, so that's what you just did.
Yeah.
See?
Well, what we'll do
Told you guys to be patient.
with the Y, we'll just nick. I'll show you in a sec. I'm trying to work out how we do the E. We're not going to do it like that, so it's going to be a bit different. So we'll just set this up so it's on the correct lines, and we'll worry about overshooting later. That's the thing, like, don't pressure yourselves to create something like perfectly when you're putting in the anchor points. It's more important to design the anchor points correctly and place them.
Michelle says the power cord can be connected on either side of the new laptop. That's really cool.
Yeah, when I had one.
Because sometimes you have a monitor that can only work on one side and then it's all tangled.
I guess the only annoying thing is you've got to get one of these. Like,
yeah, my coworker said that as soon as I get my laptop, he's gonna set me up with all the dongles and stuff that I need.
because I just bought it in the airport in the UK before I got out. Because my laptop, I was like, I'm not going to be able to edit video on that. So I was just like, I need to get something, and Naomi graciously let me get one.
Thank you, Agata. I did that illustration for my dad because he loves Bislava. She saw an illustration I did. How much time do you spend editing videos for YouTube?
It takes me roughly, depending on the types of videos. If you know my channel, then I have a few different types. If I'm doing like one with like loads of different angles, like talk about the iPad Pro where I get the B-roll in it, it looks really well done. It takes about 7 hours just to film, because it's just me. Like, so Naomi is coming to work for me soon. She already works for me now, basically part-time.
So Naomi's your wife?
Naomi's my wife, yeah. She's on my channel on a web series called like Creative Bar that we used to do, and I used to try and teach her the pen tool, and it used to get me annoyed. And everyone said that her work was better than mine.
Does she have another full-time job at the moment?
She works with children. She's very good. She's like the baby whisperer, so I can't actually talk to children because like they cry. Like children don't like me. So Naomi's just like super baby whisperer. She works in nursery basically, but she's looking to move out of that and work for me because a lot of my admin stuff I'm doing, but it takes like a ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah. Chase says he just watched that video of you showing her the pen tool the other day.
Team Deathbird.
Did you like it? It was hilarious, he said.
Okay, so I've seen some interesting things happening here. But it's okay, we'll fix this up. But yeah, it's... what was the question again? I was just trying to go for... I had a really good answer to a question there.
You did?
Yeah, I've forgotten it now.
I asked you a question?
Yeah, my brain.
I don't remember. Oh, I asked you about editing videos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at this shape that you just created.
Yeah, it's cool,
That
right?
was very interesting.
You can create anything.
It's like a
with
warrior
symmetry.
mask.
Yeah, literally, something that I do a lot is when I'm bored, I use like Illustrator and I just like create these cool little patterns, right? Like this. Because when I'm like annoyed with something, I'll do that and then I'll copy it.
Ooh.
Like this is a really bad example, but like you can create some really
That's
nice
really
stuff
cool
with it.
though.
It's weird how the brain perceives like negative space, well, symmetry.
Yeah. Heber says, please tell us how you're dropping guides as you go with the pen tool.
I'm not doing it with a pencil, so when you see me going like over here, I'm just dragging. So I press Command R, you'll get these little like rulers up here. If you want a vertical one, or sorry, a horizontal one, just bring it down, drop it. Make sure your guides are locked, so go to View, Guides, Lock Guides. And then if you want a vertical one, go to the side. It's just, I do it, even though I don't need to do it, I do it now because I like to show people how I'm doing it, and I'm just so used to doing it on YouTube that people can like just see it straight away rather than have to explain it. So,
Hi, Vicky. Nikita says the letter S has a totally different style.
yeah, it does. Don't worry.
But I think everything's going to be tweaked a little bit. We'll be changing the shapes a little bit
Oh yeah,
coming up.
it looks terrible.
So be patient, everyone.
I know people get
Right
worried.
now we're just laying out the vectors.
This is why like I don't do many videos on my channel for this, because like people, if they watch the process, they're like, that sucks, and then like they don't watch it till the end. So
This part you can do like a time lapse.
yeah, which is like it's
Just
easy
imagine
to
it's a
show.
time lapse right now.
Yeah, but like, I normally spend days on stuff like this, but
Yeah.
like with more testing and stuff like that. And if I need to move my picture, I just put it over here just to give me a guide.
How did you do that?
I just like unlocked my template.
Oh, I see.
Clicked it and yeah. And we're gonna fiddle with this later. Hello.
Faizan says, I hear ya. Thanks for doing this.
It's cool. No worries. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's really valuable to see. We don't always get to see your process, so.
That's it. It's just like it's easy to do on a live stream if you're really into it. I mean, I can show you work that I probably won't be able to actually. I sign a lot of NDAs. So like, I just stay safe and never show. Like unless they don't mind.
Yeah.
I know this is a different style too, but don't worry. As long as we've got all the points there finally. Right now we can play around with this. So
Yay.
we've got all the points there. This S, move that, I don't like it. Create a new artboard. This is where everything gets really messy, but fun. Copy all this over. And let's see how it looks when we fill it in. Okay. So on this layer, I'm going to like just lock this. But I'm going to create a new one as well. Put that over there. And we're going to lock this. And we're going to annotate it so I don't forget. The important thing about logo design like this, you've got to take notes, come back to, because then it's kind of like when you're showing your client, it's not that they get more impressed, but they just like, they see your process more of like what you've been doing. So for instance, here, let's, like we can put something here. I put circles on just so I can like show myself what I like and what I don't like. So red circles are what I don't like, which is a lot. This is part of the process. Get rid of these smart guides. I like this. Ow. My stomach's grumbling. I can't eat breakfast in the morning, so like...
What?
I know, I just don't feel hungry. I had a coffee. I like that.
Even in your normal life, when you're at home, you don't eat breakfast?
No. Like, I wait until lunch. But I have my lunch at like 11, so
Okay.
I have like kind of like a brunch. Obviously, I need to fix this as well. I'm just going to do it now. Why not? Move that across. When I'm switching like this and pressing Command Y, I'm going to outline mode. This helps me see the paths a bit more. Oh, hello. I'll just select all these.
Timo says he doesn't eat breakfast either, and Laura says she can't survive without breakfast. I'm on Laura's team. I can't survive.
I just don't, like, Naomi's really different. She wakes up hungry. I wake up sick. Like, I wake up feeling, especially in America, just because, like, my body clock's just out the window.
Yeah.
So, like, I have no problem sleeping. Put a little square here because that tells me that there's too much space.
Oh.
So this is, like, really primitive way of doing it. And something else that we need to look at is this. So the negative space. So the negative spaces here have to be the same or like consistent too. So once you've gone for the positive, make sure the negative works well. I really like this E. I think it works really well. So I'm going to steal it. This thing here.
Oops. This laptop is logged in as Kathleen, so I just wrote a comment as her. That was me.
I'm going to move this here. And this is not. We need to move that to the back there. To compensate.
People are getting worried that you haven't saved your work.
Oh yeah, sugar. Ow. I haven't saved my work, that's why my stomach's grumbling.
If he survives. Thanks, Silvana. It's now getting saved.
I think there's an autosave feature now, isn't there? Is there an autosave feature?
I don't know. I'm always paranoid and I save everything.
I think that's in Premiere Pro actually. That's a lifesaver. It's like Premiere Pro autosaves. It's great. Come on, anchor points. What are you doing to me? I need to configure this a bit more. So this is...
Heber says, your guides were tripping out everyone at our design firm, but you're just working fast. Wow, how many people are watching at the same time at your work? I love that idea that there's like teams of people.
That is really cool.
Together.
What design agency?
Yeah, where do you work? Oh, Faizan says there's a plugin that you can get from Astute Graphics that saves your work.
On my old laptop, I've got loads of Astute stuff on it. I think I'm doing stuff with them as well. Okay, overshooting as well.
Oh, that design firm is Pi Design in Camarillo, California.
No way, you're in California. I'm in California right now.
You have so much in common.
That's right.
And you're designers.
Let's do something. Can you design a China font? Probably not.
Yeah.
Take my mind off it for a sec. I do it all the time. So like, I watch Netflix when I'm working.
Yeah.
So it's really important that I've got to
like on another screen on the TV and you're on your laptop and you look up.
Or like I've got 2 monitors. I've got my Netflix monitor.
What do you watch? What are your favorite shows on Netflix?
Like UFO stuff. I'm obsessed with UFOs.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Naomi's like when I don't. One time I wasn't wearing my glasses, and yeah, Naomi basically saw some balloons outside. No, kites. There was like a kite festival going on where I used to live. Like we had an amazing view from we could see like greenery and like fields and stuff like that all the way, and basically there was these kites. I wasn't wearing my glasses, and I was just thinking about aliens and like UFOs, and I just saw loads of these things in the sky, and I was like, never. That's definitely UFO, but it wasn't. I was so disappointed.
Shauna says, if you like the paranormal, you should check out Jim Harold's Campfire. It's a great podcast. And he also has one on UFOs.
Oh, I watch.
Do you listen to podcasts?
I listen to a lot of audiobooks. So when I'm doing stuff like this and I'm not watching Netflix and I've got to like get my head down, I'll listen to a lot of audiobooks. I do not like that. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, so it's like, sorry, I just don't like that. I listen to like books such as like How to Grow Your Business and stuff like that. Some self-help books, some alien conspiracy books, because I get so fascinated by it.
How do you decide which inconsistencies are expectable to appease a desired aesthetic? For example, the spacing is different than the rest. I don't really know what that question means.
Do you mean optical illusions?
Maybe.
Because if that...
Yeah, we went over that earlier. But maybe you can, if something comes up while you're doing this, you can call it out.
Yeah.
Timo says you should definitely check out Black Mirror. Have you seen those?
I love Black Mirror.
Yeah.
I love Black Mirror. So creative.
What about Stranger Things?
I've watched Stranger Things, yeah. Interesting fact about Black Mirror. Does anyone know why it's called Black Mirror?
Let us know in the chat if you know
Yeah.
why.
Have you read the same thing as me? Yeah. Like,
We have someone in the studio that knows why. Does anyone out in the world know why?
I was so happy when I found out.
People are saying, is it because of your cell phone screen?
Kind of, yeah.
Reflection of the TV reflects the dark reality of our lives. Wow, that's dark, Timo. Everyone's saying TV screen or
Yeah.
phone screen. Is that it?
Basically, yeah.
Oh.
I was so happy when I found out.
Why?
I don't know. I was like, that's so creative.
Because it is kind of amazing because I use my phone as a mirror a lot.
A Black Mirror.
So I never thought of it. I'm always just like, oh, can I see myself? Okay.
Something that I'm going to
So
do.
it is about screens. Screens are probably the number one thing we look at these days.
Yeah.
It's a
Which is
bit
strange, isn't
worrying.
it?
Yeah. I'm looking at 4 screens right now.
My stomach just keeps rumbling, man. Just like,
Do we need to give you a snack?
sure. Be okay. Hunger gives me pressure. I work better. So I'm just like fixing it up a little bit now. We're gonna change the S, but hopefully like I can see what I'm trying to create, but you guys probably will not see it. So you just got to bear with me. It's such a difficult thing. That's why I wanted to do workshops on it, because you can explain it a bit more when someone's doing it and you're showing them how.
Can you talk about your road to becoming a freelancer?
Yeah, I didn't have a choice really. I was really bad at school, and I really liked design. So I went to study how to be a sexy secretary in college, business administration, and from there, I just I decided that wasn't for me either. So I kind of just left, and then said I'm going to do design. So I spent years just learning it, just sat there reading books. Then I created a YouTube channel because when I was playing around in Adobe Illustrator, I couldn't find certain tutorials. So I learned how to do it, and then I just put it out. And that's how the channel started.
That's great.
Learn by doing, as they say.
Ariel asks, how long have you designed for?
6 years, 7 years, I think. Something that I'm good at is self-teaching myself. I've taught myself guitar and stuff. I've never been good at people teaching me. I've never been a fan of that. School were pretty much the same as well. They knew that I wasn't the biggest fan. And I just didn't do well at school. So I just sort of did my own thing really. Whilst people went to university, I just spent time learning how to do this craft.
Natalia says, so you think there's no need to graduate graphic design school?
Well, it depends what you want to do. I mean, there's no need to do design at all. It depends where you want to go. If you want to work in a studio, then definitely you want to go and get your credits and stuff, you want to be credible. If you're freelancing, you're learning on the job, make sure that you invest time and money into learning, read books, niche down. I'm not a really
niche
great...
down?
Yeah, niche up, down, whatever.
Wow, I've never heard that before.
You don't want to work on everything.
Yeah,
you want to be
totally.
Hence why I could do hand lettering, or branding, but I'm doing logotype design. Because when people ask me, could you do this? I said, nope. I only do this.
Christian, at this point, we've already shown how Will started out with his sketches and his ideas, and now he's digitizing his sketch. So you can check out yesterday's session to see the beginning of the process and how he narrowed down his ideas. Indrajit says, is it important to start sketching on digital platforms rather than on paper for beginners?
Doesn't really matter. If you learn on paper, you've got a better chance of learning. Well, it's just difficult. I learn on paper, but you don't have to learn on paper. We live in an age now where you don't have to. I did because there was no iPads around. But I mostly use iPads now, so.
What's the biggest brand you ever worked for? to design something?
Probably a few big churches. I'm working for Hillsong right now. I generally work for brands that are, I've got to be careful how I say it, but like some new ones and some other ones. But the problem is, like, some of the work that I do for them, so like if it's a logotype, I don't really like it. So I don't ever show the work that I'm doing. So the way that I've worked around making sure that I get work that I want to do is that I only show work that I want to do. So even if the work is amazing, I don't want to be, using my portfolio as a way of me making just sure I get money. I want it to be a way that I get work that I want to work on, if that makes sense. But I've worked for like Hillsong.
Is that doing logos or?
Yeah, I'm doing that now with them.
Cool.
And not like rebranding them, but just doing something with them. And I worked with an insurance company, a big one, but I'm still working with them, so I can't say. Well, I think I can say. I'm always really careful because I think it's not just me that's working on it as well.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, these big companies, if they go to an agency, the agency will do it, and then they'll hire someone else to do it at the same time. Just to get different views and ideas.
Wayne, my name is pronounced Ariadne. Ariadne Ramundakis. I know it's not easy. So we've got a lot of submissions coming in, so at the end of the session we'll look at them. Thank you everyone who's already sent us things. Hi Esther. Yes, Michael, I'm Greek. Michael Bayraktaris, you're definitely Greek too. Rad name, thank you. That's so nice of you. Thank my parents. A series of projects. Christian seems to be going through a creative block.
That's okay.
What would you recommend for him to do? He's lacked the spark to get going again in drawing.
Just go and draw bad things. That's all you can do.
Yeah, just draw something. It's better than nothing.
Yeah. It's just getting it out there, isn't it? It's just... It's more important just to get something out there, is what I always say.
Have you been active on your Instagram and YouTube since you started calligraphy and design, or is that more recently?
Oh, my whole channel's about design and stuff, so... Like, everything about the channel's just design stuff, basically. Talking the ins and outs.
Mukasa says, I like your YouTube tutorial, man. They've totally helped me to design from scratch, especially logos. Which gadget do you use most?
Which gadget? Wow. My iPad. Probably. Or my computer, maybe. It's a tough one. I'm not too sure. Probably my computer. Could be my iPad. Pretty name. Have we got any more submissions?
Yeah. I think we'll keep them. Maybe in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll look at them for the last 10, 15 minutes of the segment so we can comment on them in detail, because I think it's nice that you give your feedback.
Yeah, I just got rid of that S because it's annoying me.
It's gone?
For now, yeah. I figured
So now
that.
it's Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus. Smiley Cyrus.
I can't take credit for that. It came up in the chat earlier.
Okay. This is the difficult one. I should not have connected these together. It's so annoying. This is why you don't connect stuff together.
Wow, what is going on?
Wow, there's a lot of comments.
Everyone just chatted at the same time, or our internet was slow?
Lol.
Thank you everyone for your comments just now, but we couldn't see them all. Hey Len. Hi Tarek, thank you for submitting. Ryan thinks it's funny that you just said lol. I do that too.
I don't know. It's a bit annoying, isn't it? Like, so...
Lol.
Yeah. It's like, why don't I just laugh? So lazy. So I'm just sorting out the spacing between the I and the L. But I screwed it up because I was being an idiot. So this is a difficult one because we've got to make sure that it's the right spacing, but also try and connect it. So
Do you ever use 90-degree Bezier points like the arms in 90 degrees, not directly up and down on a single anchor to get the right curvature? Oh, I see.
I don't know.
So he's saying the anchor point and then the arms would be like that. I don't know how you would use
like at a point.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Depends like what I'm doing. This L is just trial and error right now.
When you grab all the points at the same time, do you use a shortcut?
No, just I use like when I'm on pen tool, I use Option or Alt, A for direct selection, and I just I know where the anchor points are. Makes life a lot easier. Yeah. Get this like that. I'm struggling with this out because it's annoying me. There's always something in the logo type that I'm just constantly annoyed about.
So, Will has a book. A few people have been asking about books that he recommends. He has a book called Learn in 15 Minutes. Calligraphy, 15 exercises, 15 letter forms, 15 variations. And it's on Amazon. So if you're interested in seeing his process, it has a lot of interactive things. Like he shows you ways to practice, and there's even pages in there where you can practice yourself. So That's a book that I think he would recommend.
You know, after there's loads of other ones, like Martina Flor's got an awesome book.
Yes. The Secrets.
The Golden Secrets of Hand Lettering.
Golden Secrets of Lettering. Martina's awesome. Let's see. Derek, we have a lot of people working on the live stream. It's a big team and they're awesome. We wouldn't be able to do it just with one person. Timo's gonna buy your book. Ah.
I think it just got released as well, like in
Really?
January 4th. Yeah.
When did you start it?
Well, I started it in like April last year. Like, and it took I wrote it in like 3 months because we were on a tight deadline. So I didn't really have a holiday last year.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was going to Iceland as well with Stefan.
What did you do in Iceland?
Oh, have you not seen?
No.
Let's have a look. Can I show you?
Yeah.
It's like a huge scale lettering in the sand.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Is that okay if I show?
It's totally okay. I want to see.
The doctors are on here. Don't know why I watch the doctors. Let's have a look.
YouTube has been suggesting some really trashy British shows to me
Have they?
recently, like Hooked on the Look and like all this stuff, and I end up watching it. I'm like, why am I watching this? Okay, so it's on your channel.
That's it. This is it.
Oh, Riding on the Beach.
So that's me, Stefan, and a guy called Ian Barnard, and
Oh,
Simon Cade.
I love him.
Simon Cade's filming it.
How did you think of doing this? Was it a self-initiated thing, or did
Stefan had an idea, and then I had the contacts to get a sponsorship,
Oh, I see.
and then they sponsored us doing it in Iceland. So we did that, and it was crazy.
Wow. That's amazing.
And it took days. It took like a week.
Really?
Yeah, not like the lettering, just like the
Setting
whole,
everything up.
the whole process of like trying to find.
Yeah. Oh, and that was another book,
Oh, I just got rid of it.
because people are asking what books you recommended. So this is another book he recommended, The Art of Hand Lettering.
Yeah, it's good.
So look that up.
In progress as well, Jessica Heesh.
Yeah.
Scripts, that's cool for things. There's so many books now. Yeah, loads. And there's Martina Flor's book.
Yeah. So look on Amazon and see if you find these titles. Those are recommended. Contest deadline is now. And if I don't show your work, don't worry. Kathleen will show it in the next stream.
Oh, I don't like this E now.
See those. Gonna grab those late submissions to see them.
Gonna have to work on this L as well. So it's basically just like adjusting everything as you go. It can be pretty boring, but it depends like how much you love type. Like, in the end, it looks amazing when you've done it. Just get this done like that.
Jeffrey said, have you started with calligraphy before doing lettering? I think you said that's what you started with.
Yeah,
Right.
so brush pens and stuff like that.
Do you save a library of letters you've created?
No. Only when I'm making a font. Just for fun.
So have you made fonts for projects? Or
Yeah, I made one for the Iceland project that I used in my film. It's just a really quick one, like sans serif, rustic kind of one. It didn't have most of the, other things that you need in a font. Just the capital letters, uppercase. But I don't think I could sit there and work on a font. It would kill me. I'd get so sidetracked.
You'd have to watch so much Netflix to get through it.
So I'll read the whole of Audible, or listen to the whole of Audible, wouldn't I?
Do you watch Mr. Robot?
No.
Oh, Mohammed asked. Maybe that's the next thing you need to watch.
Mr. Robot.
What app did you use to create the fonts that you've created?
Glyphs. There's Font
That's
Self.
what Faizan thought. Yeah, Font Self is a new plugin for Illustrator where you can create fonts in Illustrator.
So
it's kind of cool.
Something that I do. I know a lot of other people do. I think Ian does it as well. He showed me you do it all in Illustrator, so you get your letters in here, and instead of having to like place them into glyphs, you just put them into Font Self, and it'll like do it all really quick for you, and then you can further edit it in glyphs if you want to.
What applications would you recommend people create their own fonts versus using professionally designed fonts? When I say applications, I mean like projects.
Just whenever it's necessary.
Yeah.
It's a difficult question to answer. It's when it's necessary. So if you're working on like a financial company, you might need to use a font, or like take heavy inspiration from a font or something like that, because it has to be clean, and they may want like the type family with it.
It may need a lot of different styles of that same font, and they might need a lot of text.
Yeah.
But if it's like a logo or something small that you're creating, maybe you don't need to have a whole font family. You can do your own, just like Will is doing right now on Illustrator, just creating lettering. Robzilla says hello.
Hello, Robzilla.
Hi.
Come on, colours, what are you not picking up? I'm using different colours just to keep my mind on it. But this is where it's like, I'm just messing around with it to get it how I want it to be. Then we do more of the testing later.
If there were only 3 tools on Illustrator, what would you choose?
The pen tool, the shape tool, the rectangle tool, because you can round it off so it will be a circle as well. And the selection tool. That'll be it. If you were an Adobe product, what would you be?
Me?
Yeah.
I use Illustrator the most, so I would want to be Illustrator.
You want to be Illustrator? I love Illustrator.
But I don't know if I am. Someone else would have to tell me. It's like, what animal are you? You might think you're like a lion, and then people are like, no. You're the Chinese horoscopes?
Oh, yeah.
I'm a dragon. My year of birth is 1988, so the year of the dragon. And my coworker is a water pig.
He's a water pig.
And I was like, oh, I'm a dragon. And he's like, I'm a water pig. And actually, the water pig is a really great one.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound great.
It sounds
and it just made me laugh, and I felt bad. But the dragon sounds so much better.
That's cool.
Sometimes, you might think you're a dragon, but you're actually a water pig, but you might be a better personality for it.
Oh, yeah. We're all fine in everyone's eyes. You can be a water pig if you want to be one. There's no judging here.
Okay, we're going to be looking at people's submissions in a few minutes. So we'll watch Will's final touches
Yeah.
on these last letters.
I'll probably go and refine it more for tomorrow, so then I can show you the process.
Yeah. How did you know how to charge people when you were first starting? Did you charge people?
Yeah. I charged them just what I thought, and then like someone said I get paid that, and I'm like, I'm gonna charge that then. So that's what I did.
You kind of get the idea from the client when you don't really know what to charge.
No, I just say it's difficult because I always say it's this is how much it is and this is how much you're gonna pay me. That's it. I don't really back and forth with them.
But did you start low when you were beginning?
Yeah,
like not
compared to
knowing
now.
how much you could charge.
Yeah, like $100 or $200, and then then I was just like grow it, and then every year I've grown it by a certain percentage on purpose. So yeah, it's difficult because I charge not a base price for anything. It just depends on how much it is. So like, if it's a full-on branding thing, I'll charge like a few thousand. But it just depends on what you need to live off. I don't like extort people or anything.
Is it according to how many hours it would take you, or depending on the nature of the project?
More like the nature of it. So if it's all about the value that they're getting. So if a multi-million-pound company is going to like ask me to work on a logo for them, I'm going to charge them, based on the value that they're going to get out of it. But if a startup's going to ask me and I really want to work with them, and even if they can't pay me, I'll do it. It's just, if I really want to work at it, that's the way it goes.
Cool.
Look
So
at that. Those circles are awesome on there.
the ones floating behind us.
Yeah.
Can you catch one?
Catch one like that.
Let's look at the submissions.
Yeah, let's go for it.
We have about 10 minutes left. So here's Julia's play.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
love the shadows and the depth and the colours and the gradient.
Yeah, it looks really good. I would change the Y a little bit. So how the Y,
Yeah.
the arm that's coming out is coming out at a bit of what's the angle? It should be a bit more vertical, or creating more space in that V space that the Y creates.
Yeah, it should be more central.
Yeah.
Also, I would like the ascenders and descenders, just make them a bit smaller.
Yeah, so
not as
how
long.
the P goes, the leg of the P goes down, bring it up, the stem I mean, and the L bring it down. So like you created that rectangle, try to make it fit into a rectangle if it's going to be like a cohesive logotype or word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Dana. Very vibrant.
Yeah. With that, you probably want to move the K over a little bit.
Yeah, make sure you keep consistent space between the words.
The
the
O,
letters.
Though. The O is cool.
Yeah. Brutal.
Oh, savage, brutal. That's a brutal logo type.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool, like the serifs on it. Very sharp. Dragon.
Dragon.
That's cool. I can see why you've done dragon. You've got like sort of like the wispiness of a dragon.
Yeah,
like the
I really
tail.
like it. It could be like a tattoo.
Yeah,
It's got that vibe.
like a biker's tattoo.
Yeah. Or a dragon's tattoo.
The dragon's tattoo, yeah.
There's a book about that.
No way.
Fly by Simon.
Come fly with me. Yeah. What I'll do is get rid of that, the crossbar of the F. Don't connect it with that, the L. And for the Y, bring the descender up and just make it a bit more Unless you're wanting it to go for like a more playful look. Just see if you can move it up. Yeah. Difficult to explain.
Yeah.
I need to be able to like...
See if you can draw a rectangle and make things fit.
Yeah, balance is key.
Balance is key. Smooth.
That is smooth.
Very cool. I see a smiley face.
Yeah, same here. That's cool.
Yeah, good job, Tarek.
Very consistent.
You've got your like
Elegant.
balance and
Yeah, very elegant.
here's an ampersand by Ryan.
Cool ampersand. Nicely balanced.
Yeah. Friends.
Just a bit more
Focus.
consistency, but cool F that you got there.
Yeah. Looks like it was hand done and then digitized.
Yeah.
Roland.
Light.
That's cool.
Very clever. That is really clever. You've attached the ascenders of the L and the T.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Ride or Die by Shauna.
Cool composition. I love the drop lines.
That's cool. Peace by
Peace.
Tyrone.
The texture on that's cool as well. I love like type that's really illustrative by texture.
And make sure your spacing is more consistent. See how
Yeah,
the E has a lot of space around it. That's
It's
something
because
to
there's
watch
no
out for.
connector, right? So I would just get rid of that little wispy bit at the bottom and just push it, you know.
Yeah. Pablo.
Pablo.
Cool. That could be a little logo.
It's cool.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. By
Maybe you need a
Chase.
bit more spacing, but that is a pretty cool style.
Yeah.
You can read it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I could read it right away. But yeah, maybe some of it's like ink running into each other. Maybe
Yeah.
allow for that and put some space in there. Look at this. Ujan. So it's Udjan into an elephant.
That's cool. I mean, I like the illustration. I can't read the letters.
Yeah, I could read it because I know his name is up there. But it's
That's
really
cool
inventive.
exercise. Cool exercise, that.
Yeah. Vulgar and
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I like the hallelujah. Now that is creative. Vulgar is cool as well. Just more consistency on the down strokes, so like the thickness and stuff. You want it to all be like consistent with each other, right? But the hallelujah is really cool. You've got consistency with the ascenders and descenders in there.
Yeah, that looks really cool. I would have never thought to do that. Sketch by Eduardo.
Cool. Got
Nice
some
colors.
ornaments.
Cool, your
Cool.
favorite word. And a smiley.
Everyone's putting smileys on.
Simone, I love that. Ooh,
Fabulous
Fabulous 50.
Cool brush.
Very
Cool brush
nice.
script.
How did you do that, Tammy? Was that with a pen or was it digitized? Looks like she did it by hand.
Might have live traced it. That's cool though. Very cool.
Fun, Eleanor. Looks fun.
Yeah.
Ooh, look. Joey totally followed your
That's what I wanted. That's cool.
style of how to point out what he likes and what he doesn't like about his design.
That's it. I'll give you a little hand with the P. See the bowl of the P? That's a thick one. So the P needs to be thick on the opposite way around. So the bowl of it like the O of the P, if that makes sense. Once you've done that, it'll look like 10 times better, but it looks awesome right now.
Whoa,
That is cool.
that's very cool. Nice O.
Yeah.
Every time you say a word, the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Second. That's cool. It's like someone just took an eraser
Yeah. No, I can't say yeah now because of that, yeah.
because of this.
Yeah, because of this, for goodness sake, yeah.
This is very cool, Ryan. And he shows his
The outlines, yeah.
outlines. How did you create that background texture. I like that.
That is cool.
Okay. I think this says Olivia. Oh, it's with the Greek letters. So the L is a lambda, the Greek L, and then the V is actually the beta,
Oh.
Greek.
Okay, right.
So it's Olivia. Bravo, Olivia. Πολύ ωραίο. Very nice. Again, maybe some areas are thick when they should be thin, but I think you've got it pretty much well. But it did take me a second to be able to read it, even though I can read Greek. So try to make your vita a little more clear what it is, because you've left it a bit open. I think that would help a lot. But I like the style. It's very unique. Ariel. Whoa.
Cheers.
CHSS logo. That's got a lot of movement.
It is very quick. Cool colours on the second one though.
Yeah.
Just legibility. You need to make sure you can read it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Starbelly Jam.
Starbelly Jam. Wow. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
But there is a lot. Lots of colors and shapes and stuff.
Yeah, it's very playful.
Yeah.
It works well, yeah. Cool stuff.
Delight.art. Oh, is this your website? It's like an infinity symbol.
That's cool. Like coming from the flourish.
Yeah.
That is really cool. Bless. So you've got the downstrokes right. Just make sure for stuff like that it can look a bit wispy, but if you just make the thin strokes a bit thicker, just a little bit thicker, it can help. Because like when you first start out, it's difficult to know how thick the thin strokes should be. So always make it a little bit thicker than you think.
Yeah.
Looks cool though.
Bless
Awesome
you,
mess.
Miriam.
Yeah, bless you.
Timo. FRDM. Freedom Music.
Cool. I like it. It's very what's it called? Sharp.
Yes.
Very sharp.
It looks dangerous for sure. Sharp and dangerous. Okay, I think, and we've seen these, so now we have to pick a winner.
Have to pick a winner.
Yeah. So these are the ones we saw previously.
Okay. I'm gonna go for that one.
Really?
Yeah.
The first one we saw?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because like, it works so well. I mean, the only thing I said about this was like, you have to move the N to the right a little bit. Mm-hmm. But it's just so like, it's so usable. That's why. Like, I'm obsessed with functionality. It's so usable, and like it seems really premium to me. And I think he's lettered this out right. It looks like it. I mean, you could even go you could do an oblique O in the bowl of the O. You can make it oblique. So you can make it a bit different. But I really like this.
Yeah.
It works as a cool word mark. Or
Nice.
logo type.
Who made this? I can consult my spreadsheet in a moment. But thank you everyone for submitting such amazing designs. They were all, wow, so cool.
They're all really cool.
Cool.
Cool, yeah. This.
Will liked this one the best, but thank you everybody. We really enjoyed seeing your creativity, and I hope you liked the critiques that you got from us. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
So if we go to Will's laptop for the last minute, so tomorrow, what are we going to expect to see? What is our final...
So I'm going to work on this for a while today, and I'm going to basically speed up the process. I'm going to spend time on it by myself. So I'm going to show you, as you can see, I copy and paste it a bunch of times. You're going to see that happen a lot. So we're going to carry on with this, and you'll see basically a sped up version of it, and I'll walk you through what I've done, the choice I've made. But yeah, it's going to look good. I've got a really good feeling about it.
Great.
And then we're going to vectorize it. Not vectorize it, but like add texture to it and make it look cool.
Oh, texture. Very exciting. Okay, well, I think this is pretty much the end. And I hope to see you again tomorrow with Will. And make sure you tune in. We have Jill DeHaan starting in 10 minutes. And then we have Stefan and Becca again. So it's a full schedule. It's very exciting.
So many people.
So many people.
So much art.
So much creativity.
Much art. Much
And it's all live.
And it's all live right here.
Right now. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll be back at the same time. And we'll have another contest. We'll have more creation from Will and more advice. So
It's gonna
hope
be
to
good.
see you then. Bye.
See you tomorrow. Bye.